All right, Shalom. Before I continue with this lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak, Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother lawyer, and I teach the Great Millstone National Camp. Coming back with a quick lesson, and this lesson will be entitled, "These are great examples of Israelite foreigners." All right, and this is from at Geo Wise Report, and I believe she may be a Jake. This is the so-called black woman up here. She's in Africa. You know that we once lived amongst the Hamites because that's who they are. And like I said, she may be a Jake. She may be an Israelite. But anyway, that's not the point. It's not about her. It's about this sister that you see right here that's in the middle that looks like the so-called, Edomite, but she's going to break it down to you and correct your ass. And I'm talking about you black only Israelites, you dumb fucking niggas out there that don't understand how seed and real, not real, but how blood works. All right. Cause she's going to tell you that she's black. She's really black, and she's going to tell you who her daddy is. So I got this video queued up, and I don't got it queued up yet, but give me 1 second, because I don't want no bullshit ass to play. So anyway, I'm gonna let her do her thing. I'm gonna cut this up and go from there. Give me 1 second. 1 second. She look good too. So anyway, all right, get everything going. All right, so here we go.
Your biological father is African American. I'm gonna break it down for you because I know what you're thinking. This girl is insane. There's no way. She has green eyes, very light skin, and blonde hair. Like, there's no way. Growing up as a kid, I always got, "That's your stepdad, you must be adopted." This video is honestly for educational purposes to just let you know, like, people can look like me and be mixed.
Yep.
So let me break it down and show you my parents. Alrighty, here is me and my dad. This is my dad. His name is Lance. Here's another photo.
And then when you play this video, she has photos of her dad, and guess what? Her dad, it's a so-called black man. You can tell, but he's very light skinned, very very light skinned. And she took on. She's gonna tell you. I'll let her tell you.
It's kind of blurry, but yes, he raised me my entire life from when I came out the womb. Here is another photo of us when I was younger. And this is my mom, so I definitely took after, like, her skin tone, her hair. I'm looking like a weird-ass little baby in this pic, but this is my mom, again. Here is her when she was in her teenage years. So yeah, those are my parents. My dad actually had a paternity test after I was born. Not because he thought my mom was cheating, but just to make sure, because I did come out looking super fair, which is absolutely hilarious, honestly. One day, somebody asked him, they were like, "How does your baby have blonde hair? That is not your kid." And my dad just made a joke. He was like, "Oh, yeah, I used to have blonde hair when I was a kid, too." Like, serves you right for asking a dumb question. I will say that when people see my dad and me next to each other, we do have a lot of similarities in our face. We have the same eyes, not eye color, but there's a photo of us. I can't find it, but there's a photo of us where our eyes are literally the exact same when we smile. Like, the shape of them, one of our eyes gets smaller and one's bigger. And then I'm also very lean and tall and thin, and that is his exact body type and build as well. I did not get, like, my body type from my mom at all.
And so, and you heard it. And like I said, you can go and watch this video, and it's called "White Kids Raised in Black Households," because you also have, which I believe, the Israelite foreigners, you have so-called white people or white kids, now they're grown, of course, that are speaking about how, they were treated amongst, the Southern Kingdom, being raised and being adopted by us, but really Those are Israelites. I believe they fall under the curses of the Israelites. Now, of course, you do have other nations that are also, what they call it, not, is it orphans? Yeah, that are so-called, orphans. They don't have, not, is that the right word? Orphans? Yeah, like they need people to adopt them, which that's gonna fall under the curses. The Israelites, the curses that the Israelites are under. Yeah, that's part of it. But I believe that the Lord got it set up to where for the vast majority of Jake that are orphans, He'll put them with Israelites. Now, of course, you got some cases where they end up with Edomites, and now they think they white, or they have told them a lie or something, to keep the white supremacy going through dark skin. So anyway, as you heard it, she's this woman right here, this fine sister right here in the middle. She's an Israelite. All right, straight up. And the Lord don't look at the outward appearance. So fuck what you niggas is talking about. So this is 1 Samuel 16, and I'm gonna start at 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. And so that's the main point. And the Lord had to scatter us. We had to be scattered, so that we can be preserved. Also, because it talks about how the Lord has scattered us among the Moabites, which the Moabites today are the Chinese or the Asians, Koreans, Vietnamese, the Cambodians, especially Cambodians, the Laotians. A lot of them are niggas. they straight up Israelites, and so the Lord don't look on the outward appearance. He's not like you niggas. All right. And a lot of you black only Israelites, the Lord really don't give a fuck about you, because guess what? A lot of you also denounce Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus or Jesus or Yeshua. There's only one name, is Yahushua. There's no other name given. All right. So I'm gonna get this Numbers 1:18, because obviously she understood. Now, of course, she still said, she's mixed, but she understood how sex works, and she said that she's black, and she is. So Numbers 1:18, because her father is, nigga. Numbers 1:18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. It says, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and up, by their polls, as the Lord commanded Moses. So he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai, my bad. And so she understands that, she's black, and she's really blessed, because, the people that look like her, the Edomites, they're about to endure a hard punishment, a very hard punishment, but she understands that she's black, and most likely she's going to get with a brother. She's going to stay within her tribe. And a lot of this is happening to this day. It's been happening ever since we was in Europe. We was having kids that look like this woman. What do you think the fucking Irish slave trade is about? They wasn't all black, or they wasn't black. They were so-called white. Why is white people putting other white people in chains like Negroes? Because those are the descendants of so-called blacks. That's what was going on, and they know that because of the royalty, the garments that we was wearing over there in Europe. They know that they were different. Oh, y'all from the royal family, just like Queen Elizabeth. I believe it's Queen Elizabeth. The one that they killed, knocked off, because she was talking about how blacks are the true royalty of Europe. Yeah. Don't let me lose my place. And so that's the main point. Israelite foreigners are going to come in at these very last day. And that's who the Lord called. So I'm gonna go to Matthew real quick. And this is unplanned. This is a quick lesson. It won't be long at all. I'm gonna go to Matthew 10. and 5, because the Lord told his disciples not to go. I'll read it. Matthew 10 and 5. No, yeah, Matthew 10 and 5. It says, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not in the way of the Gentiles. What Gentiles is this talking about? Why is the Lord telling his disciples? So what? Hold on. Let me stop right there. The Lord is sitting here telling his disciples, don't go into the way of the Gentiles. But the disciples are going to do it anyway when he died. Because that's what a lot of you claim. Well, he went to Rome and talked to the Gentiles. So the actual heathen he talked to. No, he spoke to the Israelite foreigners that were scattered. Because you niggas fail to understand real history. So these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, in any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Why? Because when you go to 2 Kings 17, heathen were put in that land, and they had to be taught how to keep the customs, because lions were being sent among them and killing them for not keeping the customs. So those are the actual Gentiles that were in Samaria. That's why the Lord told them not to go there. It says, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's what he did. That's what the disciples did. Give me 1 second. All right, so hold on. Let me find it. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So let me get something else. It's in Luke. I think it's Luke 8. Might be in the wrong chapter. Let me see. I think it's Luke 8. Or is it John? I'm sorry. I think it's John 8. Real quick. Let's see. I am from above. Let's see. Where is it at? Where is it at? I think it's John 8. Damn. Where is it at? Give me 1 second. I'm going to find it. Give me 1 second. All right, my bad. It's John 7. I was right here in my face. Okay. Yep. John 7. And it says the Pharisees sinned for him. So I want to get a good context. All right. So John, I'm going to start at 7:32. It says the Pharisees heard that the people murmured and such things concerning him. And the Pharisees and the chief priests sent officers to take him. Then said Yahushua unto them, yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. It says, ye shall seek me and shall not find me. Where I am, there ye cannot come. Then said the Jews among them, right? Or among themselves, whither will he go that we should not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? So he's saying, so they asked, well, hold on, what he mean? Wherever he gonna go, we can't go. Is he gonna go to the dispersed Israelites that are among the Gentiles and teach the Israelite Gentiles? Now, I don't say Israelite Gentiles, but you got to think about what was said. He's not going to go against his Father's will. He even told the disciples not to go amongst the heathen and teach, but go to the lost sheep, the ones that wandered away from the land of Israel, and teach them so that they can come back. Plain and fucking simple. You can go to Romans 9. It will cut that bullshit. Who are Israelites pertaining to adoption? Romans 9 and what, 4? Real hell, from Romans 9 and 1 on down. You can read Romans 11, where he says that he's an Israelite. Paul said, I'm an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. And on to the Israelite foreigners. Let's get 1 second. I'm gonna go to James in 1 second. Oh, that's what. Yep. All right, so we're gonna go to. Let's see. No, I'm gonna go to James. I'm gonna go to First Peter also. Oh, Acts. We got Acts. Acts chapter 2. Acts 2 and 1. No, let's start at. Let's get the main point. Let's get Acts 2 and 3. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of a fire. Talking about the apostles, right? And it sat upon and it sat upon them. The cloven tongues is the ability to speak different languages so that this word can be understood wherever they went. Right, and right here, the headline for a verb above verse 4 says the gift of tongues. It says, and they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Now, when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these Galileans, which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born, Parthians, Medes, Elamites, right? Because you still had Israelites that were there via the Medo-Persian Empire. Parthians, who are the Parthians? So-called Greeks, which are Israelite foreigners. All these are Israelite foreigners. It says, and dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea, Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, in Egypt and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and the strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of God. Israelite foreigners from past captivities and current captivities, right? Plain and fucking simple. So they might not even look like so-called blacks, plain and simple. Let's get let's see. One second. We can go to James 1. James 1 and 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting my brethren. Plain and simple, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. That's who the message is written for, the 12 tribes scattered abroad. New Testament. This is New Testament. 12 tribes scattered abroad. First Peter 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus. Didn't we name that already? Galatia, Cappadocia. Didn't we name that already? Asia and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua Mashiach, grace unto you and peace be multiplied. So these are who the apostles went to go teach. The Israelite foreigners, which are scattered abroad in every nation, just like how this woman will be an Israelite foreigner. The Lord don't look at the outward appearance. Explain Revelation 7. That great multitude that are gathered out of all nations. If you can't, I got something that will help you explain it. Let's get Isaiah 11, and I'm gonna close it with this. Isaiah 11. And it says the remnant recovered. Let's start at 11. Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush. Cush is a Hamite nation, so-called African nation. From Elam, which is today the East Indians, and from Ham, Amaslaki, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So all around the world, Israelites will be gathered. The elect, the 1/3, plain and simple. Let's see, Salaki. Yeah, and really that's all I wanted. So yeah, the Israelite foreigners, more Israelite foreigners are going to wake up and come into the fold very, very, very soon. So Lord will, this is an edifying lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom.